Hi guys, you're listening to the VIIIIIIRUS podcast. I'm your host Asha.
First of all, why are you emceeing? And I am Reem.
And I'm Sana. See, no,
We're still way like not in sync with that.
Wow.
I know. Everyone clap.
How are you guys?
Hi. Good. How are you?
I'm good, man.
Good. How are you?
Before we start, I need you all to explain where the hell you've been. I'm just going to pretend to be the listener right now. Explain.
So I can't hear you very well.
Where have you been? £3.30.
I mean, okay, so basically this is what's happened, yeah. Essentially we just... And then basically just... But then it's all got sorted out at the end anyway, so it's fine, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I think everyone can just agree that this year doesn't count. Like,
Yeah, of course.
it just doesn't count. So I feel like no one even is asking that anymore. So
Yeah.
we're here now, and this is the easier way to do it. Maybe this is how we should just do things from now.
Why are me and Sana literally twins?
Literally, because Somalia and Yemen are like besties.
Obviously. No, no one's.
Anyway, so obviously it's been about 4 months since we've last linked up.
Like it's been
more than that.
Yeah. It's been
No,
like
it hasn't.
before,
You came in January.
December.
Anyway, the point is we're here now, and we're obviously now all trapped at home because coronavirus.
Shit is real.
It's real.
It really is.
How's everyone doing? How's everyone coping?
Sana, you start.
Let me be completely honest with you, yeah? I'm fine. I am more than fine. Alhamdulillah, obviously, like on a global level, like obviously I feel like shit on a global level because we're all going through this and we're all suffering, we'll have to be at home and stuff. But personally, at home, I'm just chilling because this is nothing new to me because I've been working from home for 2 years. The only difference right now is that Fajr is also working from home, so there's 2 of us at home, which is not a bad thing. Like there's people quarantining alone.
Working from home.
No, he's you know what? He's actually a lot better than me, wallah. Like from the start of his hours till the end, he will sit on his desk even if he has nothing to do, just because he feels like guilty. But yeah, like for me, it hasn't been much of a difference at all, apart from not being able to go out. What about you guys?
How about you, Reem? Talk to me.
I feel like it's been a really good chance for me to catch up on a lot of
Sleep.
I've been working from home. Yeah, I've slept. I mean, gosh, it's all just been a bit, again, like I said, on a global level, it feels stressful and it feels difficult. And I know not even just the global, like in terms of even knowing that people are going to suffer and miss out on financial, like all of that stuff and stress. It really highlights how much, I don't know how many people live like paycheck to paycheck and stuff, and it's just by chance that I'm lucky enough that I'm able to do most of my stuff from home. Actually not most of my stuff, but there's a way that I can be doing enough work and stuff to cover the hours. So I think I feel really, really, it highlights how lucky I am, and in a way I feel like the flipping 10% of the world that is able to just kind of continue life as normal. Sana's laughing at me.
I'm so sorry, but you guys keep like freezing in the weirdest positions. I'm so sorry. Go on, continue.
That door hack next. Did you turn on your VPN?
Yeah, I'm good. You guys are not.
I can see Reem very clearly. It's that 5G connection.
I can see you too clearly. I can see both of you.
5G,
yeah, clearly. But we got 5G things right down the road. But yeah, so I'm good. I feel great. If I'm being honest, I just feel fat, but that's okay. Yeah. Who doesn't?
True that. What about you?
How about you, Shambak?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like you guys just basically like just hit the nail on the head, really. But like the only thing that I can add on that is, this might highlight, I think, a lot of this might change a lot of the perceptions people have on like the key workers that are out there. For example, like cleaners and like all the people that like postmen and stuff like that. I think hopefully they might get a bit more respect, the respect that they deserve, because they're literally the reason why like the world is still sort of ticking and still sort of going. Like without them, we would all be suffering like 10 times more.
100%.
So if you work in a supermarket, if you are a cleaner, if you're a post, like you're working like post and stuff like that, like honestly, like if you're an NHS worker, like everything, respect you so much, honestly, so much. Like obviously we did, didn't it? You know them ones, but it's just other people now. But yeah, and I think it's just such a shame that I had to take a pandemic, I had to take people dying for this sort of situation, for people to come to that conclusion. It's horrible because obviously this is now being like very politicized, and you don't want it to, but it's hard for it not to be.
It has to be.
Look at the government.
It has to be.
Look at the government that we have. Like he literally, because obviously that people are saying how British government, the UK, we knew about this for a very long time, but we just sort of sat on it and didn't act very quickly. And now that obviously it's become very evident that the virus doesn't discriminate based on how much money you earn and who you are. Like anyone can get, like our prime minister has it. Suddenly now everyone's interested and everyone cares, whereas before, when it was just a couple cases in the UK and there was a few people here and then, no one really cared.
Do you think this will change anything in the next elections though? Because you guys said that, you know, a lot of people now are waking up to how important and essential all these key workers are.
Good question.
Is this going to actually change anything? Because right now what it seems like is everyone's clapping, which is great. Everyone's appreciating all these key workers. But what is actually going to happen? Like, are they going to get pay rises? Are they going to be respected by their employers, which is what actually counts?
And I think that is such a good point, because 100% what I find like outrageous is anybody who's out clapping that has voted Tory, I'm like, just get in your house, because what are you playing at? Because this is exactly what people have been saying for so long. Austerity is the reason that in situations like this we're so unprepared. So it's like but people are so ignorant. They just see lots of people, and I've seen lots of people defending Boris Johnson, saying, oh, we should be really pleased that he's our leader and look how amazing he's done all of this. And I'm like, you guys are...
What's he done?
No, people are calling him a hero. Like people
what have they,
because of how he's dealt with this, like the lockdown and stuff. And it's like Jeremy Corbyn was saying to you 2 weeks before, the nation should be on lockdown because this isn't a safe situation and stuff.
2 weeks,
so it's like,
bro, Jeremy Corbyn's been saying invest in the NHS, save our NHS. He's been saying all of these things. It had to take a pandemic for people to realize like the NHS is so important.
I still don't think because people are so much more consumed with how tax increases affect them, they're still not going to be interested in saying, okay, I'll take that cut for public services that I may need or that other people will need and stuff. Even if I have private healthcare, the rest of the nation should be able to have access to this stuff. So I feel like people are going to love the Tories a bit more. I'm not going to lie.
Katie Hopkins is very quiet, isn't she?
She probably has it.
Katie Hopkins is very quiet.
She
said anything
irritates
else.
me.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what I find funny? Not funny, stuff like that. I mean, it's not funny at all. But you know, like how, like the reason why the Conservatives are even in power at the moment is because of how there is such a like tone of like xenophobia that's just sort of sweeping through the whole of the UK, like, and more recently, and to see like a lot of the doctors that are fighting on the front line are 100%. Ethnic minorities. They're not white. It's really interesting that to see like how, what have you guys got to say now? Like we've been telling you guys, like even just like people saying stuff like, oh, like just even like the racism that has sort of emerged immediately after the virus came to the UK towards Chinese people. It's just like, what is wrong with you? Like it's so weird. But I just think it's really interesting how people have got nothing to say now.
It's true, because I was looking at a tweet of someone paying their respects or well wishes to what's her name, the one that passed away, the 36-year-old, I think it's Arima or something.
Nasreen Arim, yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't mean any disrespect by this, but I can't remember her name. But there was a tweet about her death. Yeah, there was a tweet about her death. And I clicked onto the tweet to see the replies, because usually when it's something like that, then obviously you get people talking badly about Muslims and stuff like that. But this tweet was saying how you know, everyone's quiet now that all these Muslims have died for this country. No one's saying anything. And all the tweets which would generally be anti-Islam
100.
were suddenly, why are you talking about Islam? Why are you being Islamophobic? Why are you talking about race? Why didn't, like, all, like, you know, that, like, you know, people would like the English flags and the Great British flags and stuff like that, the Union Jack, all those people that you would expect to see them being racist under these tweets were suddenly like, why are we talking about race? Let's just pay respects to them. And it's just like, you've been talking about race. That's the problem. Say, like, now it's just, I don't know, ma'am.
Yeah, but so her name is Reem and Sana.
Reem and Sana. May God bless her.
Yeah, so there's...
Can I just say, sorry, speaking on the increase in racism, actually what I'd said to you guys, like, I think last week, was one of my friends, she's Indonesian and her husband is Chinese.
Yeah.
And they recently have had a lot of attacks and a lot of, I think someone spat towards her friend. People have been horrified. She's like to the point where her husband's worried about her going out alone. And I was thinking maybe it would be good to have her to talk about her, like, how things have been, because when she was telling me, I was like, this is mental. She was just saying how much things have increased, and it's like, obviously we know, but even as someone who's Indonesian, like, no link whatsoever. Not saying it's okay if it's someone who's Chinese, but do you know what I mean? As in people that how ignorant it is to just put everyone together.
Scatty,
if you
really,
just look a certain way, literally disgusting.
I feel like people are racist by default. Like, that's the only thing we can resort to.
Yeah. Because I feel like loads of people just want to have somebody and something to blame.
Exactly.
They just want to be able to say, this wasn't our doing, it was someone else's doing because they decided to blah, 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 blah. And it's like, that kind of doesn't solve anything.
They have been. A lot of people are saying now, like, a lot of the Brexiteers are saying, we closed the borders at just the right time. And it's just like, come on, like, people are dying in, like, Spain and Italy. Like, have some sort of, like, just be human, like, have some sort of humanity. Gosh, it doesn't have to always be politicized.
Yeah.
It's horrible, really.
So what's the lockdown saying in the UK? How are you guys, like, dealing with the lockdown?
I'm all right, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not right. So, suddenly I'm a runner. Suddenly, out of nowhere.
She wants to run.
I want to run from life. Yeah,
everyone is out. I've never seen so many people jog in my life.
hella joggers. Hella joggers. Honestly, I think I spent one time where I spent 1 week indoors and I didn't go out even once. And it was the most depressing shit ever of life. Horrendous. Depressing. So depressing. But yeah, sorry, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say there's loads of police patrolling.
Really?
Which to me kind of doesn't make much sense, because I swear they were like, we're not going to be basically paying that much attention to, like, lots of crime at the moment, but they're out here. Like, there's police on my road all the time looking for people's speed. I'm not saying speeding is okay, but I just think slightly, if you're short of resources, maybe, like, trying to catch people doing 34 in a 30 zone is probably, like, not where you want to put your money in, but whatever. But today I went to a massive, like, parky place near me, and there were loads of undercover police everywhere, and I was like, you guys need to do something different. Like, this, I don't know, I feel like skills and services could be used to a better, like, be used in a better place than in, like, an open...
So they're patrolling for like everyday crimes, not to impose any sort of lockdown or anything.
No,
like
I think
it's everything.
Opposed to, I think, to genuinely walking and exercising as opposed to, like, sitting and having a picnic.
I saw people having a picnic today. I was shocked.
In the park, like outside in the park.
Yeah. There's, like, a massive, like, greenery bit, not too far from my house. People just sat there. Well, there was one family that was sat there with their picnic blanket, which is fine. But you know the ones where it's just like, bruh.
Yeah.
It's fine, but it's like, if everyone is thinking this way, then it defeats the purpose.
That's the problem.
So,
but I do think, though, that loads of people don't have gardens or balconies, and lots of children need some fresh air. But I think having a picnic is kind of taking piss, like go for a walk or something. But I think sitting and munching food outside is slightly taking a piss, because it's very tempting.
But to be fair,
I wanted to sit down and eat sandwiches, bruv. I was like, this would be ideal. obviously I just have to keep it moving and flip and exercise some round.
I was gonna say, to be fair, like I think people are just starting to get very fed up and starting to get cabin fever as well. So I think in some cases breaking the rules a little bit for your own sanity is all right, like to a degree. Like, don't take the piss, but just like, if you need to go out and go for a walk, go. Like, don't worry if it's your third one. Just because I swear there was like a story. You guys are frozen. There's a story today of someone who had committed suicide because they were vulnerable. They had diabetes and they had to be they had to stay indoors the entire time, and ended up committing suicide. So like I like it's happening. It's already happening. It's mad.
But there's also loads of stories about people that have COVID-19 and are isolating themselves at home alone, but and they've died. No one actually knows. Like, they just go into their houses and find them dead. It's just all, I don't know. I feel like it's unprecedented. All these things that we've seen in this month.
It's grim.
Yeah, it's mad. I'm just trying to think, like, when is it going to end? I just can't wait to enjoy this good weather because it's already getting hot here. It's mad.
Such a weird thing to say, Sana.
So how are you?
I didn't get it.
How are you guys spending your time though?
Sorry?
It keeps cutting out. So if I'm like doing a weird expression as you're like saying something serious, it's just because it's like not related to what you're saying, but it's because the whole situation. What was it? How do you? Because I asked questions on Instagram the other day just to like see what it was, and I said how is everyone? People had responded and asked how we were doing, and also some of the things when I said was, sorry, it's quite loud in the background.
We can't hear anything. Don't worry.
It's a full house. Another thing people were saying was, how are you spending your quarantine time? So I feel like people are interested to know how we're coping, like what is it we're actually doing and stuff.
I'm still working full time, so that takes up 3 of my day shifts and 1 night shift a week. In between that time, what I do is basically the same thing I would normally do: is cook, clean, wash the ceilings, as you guys say. But mostly, honestly, I've spent so much time playing PlayStation, and I've never been happier to like. I'm so glad that we have a PlayStation at home because it's keeping us so occupied. Well, you guys just switch places. It's keeping us so occupied. Like, I've become a FIFA pro. I beat Fedra today. So
very good. That's why you're in a good mood, isn't it?
My skills are being put to good use. But that's it, man. And talking to you guys, I feel like we've even not just with you guys, but also with other friends in the UK, everyone just started to do a lot more video calls. Sorry, Shams looks upset about that. But everyone's doing more video calls and stuff. So it's nice to connect.
Friends? No, joking,
man. It's nice to connect with people and like just like make sure everyone's doing okay. That's literally what we've been doing. And if we need to go to the supermarket, then we just do a quick little run and come back. And that's it.
Does it, Sana specifically, sorry, does it feel hard being away from family at the moment? Sorry, Shambak, it's because she's away. Does it feel hard being away from family and like, I know Qatar is home, but you know, like how we're here and it's like, I got my mum, dad, even my brother who lives in Scotland is with us. So it's like, I'm not feeling too worried about what people like. Do you feel stressed or worried thinking about the UK?
I'm worried about my mum and my sister only because like, I don't know how they're dealing with it. Like, obviously we speak every single day, but I don't know whether they're taking it super seriously, whether they're washing their hands every few minutes and stuff like that. Like, obviously that's something I do worry about. And whether they have like supplies or whatever they need to do. But also, like, generally for the whole UK, I'm quite worried about all of you because it doesn't seem like you're handling it well. Like, the UK does not seem like it's going down a positive path with this. Compared to other places, and especially like Qatar, I've told you guys many, many times, despite the fact that today there's like over 1,000 cases, as of today, there's more than I think 1,200 and something, but it's all kind of contained, and they're trying to deal with it, and they have like everything that they need, and they're doing thousands of tests. Like I think it's more than 36,000 people have already been tested. There's a complete lockdown. No one's allowed out of the house unless you're going to a pharmacy, hospital, or a supermarket. There's checkpoints on the roads just to make sure that people that are out and about are, that they're out and about for a reason. Like you can't just be out for no reason. Even this whole one exercise per day thing doesn't exist here.
None. Yeah.
But obviously there are people that just walk around the areas and stuff like that. But it depends really on where you are in Qatar.
I think the exercise thing will change here. I think they'll cut that out soon. Yeah, because I think they think people are taking the piss too much. Because people are like, yes, my hour exercise, and they're out having a picnic with family.
Yeah,
and they're just jogging on the spot or something.
The problem is how they will start enforcing these things, like whether there'll be use of force and stuff like that. That's what's worrying.
Yeah, the thing is, I think the problem is that we've lived in a country that's like fairly free, and like we don't have like an authoritarian sort of
we're not used to it.
Lead. We're not used to it at all. Whereas countries, so it's natural for us to rebel unless it becomes like illegal to leave your home. Do you know ones where it's like if you're out of your home and you don't have unless they like impose stricter rules, people will still bend and flex and whatever. And that's just the case in most countries. I know in China, a lot of people were saying how China handled it really, really wrong. But like people barricaded into their homes. People were not able to leave their homes. Like I don't know if you guys have seen the videos on Instagram and on Twitter of like someone trying to leave their home and they've got like a metal bar that's locked them inside of their house. Like people are dropping dead in the middle of the road. Like they handled it in the worst way possible. So I can't imagine that we would have sort of those sort of same draconian measures in this country. I don't think that will ever happen. I think British people will never allow that to happen. But I also feel like there'll come a point where like it's gonna plateau. Like they're gonna handle it. I genuinely think that they will. I don't think it's gonna get worse and worse and worse like how it has done.
No, obviously at some point it's gonna have to curve or flatten even.
Yeah, I just don't think that we're on the same fate as Italy or Spain.
No, but we now have like
I swear the UK has surpassed the number of deaths. No, not the number of deaths, the number of cases to deaths. Like the ratio is worse.
Yes, I believe so. We've got more deaths than Iran now, I think.
Than Italy. Because the last figures that I saw, the UK was doing a lot worse in terms of ratio of like cases to deaths.
Yeah,
you just Google it. You do your Googling.
As you Google, Shamba, tell us what you've been doing under isolation and how you've been coping.
I've been working. Do
you want me to speak as you're Googling?
Yeah, please.
Okay. I've been working.
Yeah.
Full time as well, and I've been chilling, man. I've been watching Netflix. I've been video calling everyone I love, and it makes me happy. I've actually not been reading. I've been like pretty chill. I saw something today earlier that said there was like a picture being like, if you come out of self-isolation and you haven't picked up a new hobby or learnt a new language or read a book or something, then like whatever. And someone was like, bro, it's not like that. Like do whatever you can do to keep yourself sane. And I fully agree with that. Like I'm not gonna I think our grind culture and like busy culture has finally like had a hit, and it was bound to happen. Like we live in very, very fast paced capitalist societies. Like okay, for a minute, obviously, like I said, like we acknowledge that not everyone's going to be in the same position, because obviously lots of people are unwell and lots of people are thinking and stressing about family and stuff. But in our situations where it's like we're just doing what we can in terms of self-isolating, just taking the time and the space and checking in with loved ones and going out for walks, enjoying it getting a little bit warmer, and wearing masks and rubber gloves to the supermarket and
It,
praying
feel,
the
it,
best.
it feels weird. The other day I was in a supermarket. I've been going to supermarkets every few days and stuff just to get out the house, even though I don't need anything. And it's been okay. But the other day I went into the supermarket and they had Quran playing on in the background. And if you can imagine, everyone was like shopping with masks on, with gloves on, and you can hear Quran on in the background. As you walk in, they take your temperature at the supermarket. It was like apocalypse. I was like, what is going on? I did not expect 2020 to be like this, honestly. I hyped up 2020 so much.
Them
like,
masks
new
as well.
decade. I can't breathe in them, bro. I can't breathe.
My face was sweating. I was hot. I was in Tesco and I was like breathing my own breath. And I was like, what? Why am I here? Like, what is going on? With my dead gloves on, everyone shook of each other. We're all like bare dodging each other. Like me and this old man's baskets like hit each other. And I was like, sorry. And I felt bad. I even looked at him. I was like, well, he gets it from me. Like I'm carrying it right now. And he was like, oh, it's okay. And then I was like, and then he was like, I'm in the wrong aisle anyway. And I was like, what are you looking for? I was like, can we talk? Because at first he gave me a dirty look and I was like, oh my God, I don't like, and then like holding in every cough. Like you can't even cough. If someone near you coughs, you want to kill them. I've got asthma and I feel like coughing and I have to go like this to like.
How are people still getting on trains and stuff?
I don't know if they are.
I'm pretty sure they are. I've seen pictures of like
there's been an increased amount of people on trains
because they've like decreased the services, right? So more people are getting on a less amount of trains, which is dumb.
No. So the vast majority of people that are traveling at the moment are key workers.
Yeah.
But you've also got, but basically, what's happened is that I think over the last couple of days or so, people traveling on public transport that went down. It went down and then it increased again, and so they're trying to figure out why there was an increase. Are people just fed up and just moving more often, or like what is the actual issue? But there's no like concrete explanation. But there is a much more reduced service.
Yeah,
So
I assume that was the reason. Like if you're not having enough trains going out, then obviously people are gonna be concentrated on one train.
But from what I've seen, it just looks like normal rush hour.
Madness.
Which is
I
mad.
think key workers should be able to get if they don't drive and can't like
Ubers.
I think cabs and taxis, key workers.
Oh yeah. I think Uber announced
I think it's
they're going to be giving free
ridiculous
rides to NHS workers.
Oh, are they? I was just going to suggest they should do that.
Good.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I'm gonna see. They were like, how if you register with Uber using a valid NHS email, you get free ride. So I'll double check. So if you work for NHS, I'll put it on my story and I'll save it as a highlight.
Sounds good.
So now you share Shambakalulu.
Yeah, what you been doing?
So basically, I've just been working as per usual. I literally have no structure whatsoever. So I found it hard in that sense because I don't know when the day begins and I don't know when the day ends. And I like it's before where it's like it's very obvious like this. I'm at work now and like now I'm with my friends and now I'm at home and now I'm chilling. Like you've got very like it's all split apart. Whereas now it's kind of like my office is my bedroom. It's just like you can't escape. You just feel you can't go. You don't feel like you've gone in. You're just here. Like work follows me all the time. My laptop's on all the time. So I feel like I'm working 24/7 because I'm just there. Like it's a really weird space to be in. So I try to get out as much as I possibly can, but sometimes you just can't because especially when I'm working a 2 till. So my shift changes every single week. So if I'm working 2 till 10, you guys know I don't even look at my phone. I don't even speak to you guys because I'm so switched on. I air you guys all the time. I'm sorry, but once that's happened, I then no longer have time to go out for my walk. So, and I'm also not keen to get up super early. So I did it on Thursday and Friday where I got up. I think Friday was like the first day that I got up early, and then like I went for a walk and I went to go get some things that I needed. Then came back home, but that helps a lot. But it's really like I don't know about you guys, but I don't like it. I hate it. Like I hate it in the first week because where you guys have been under lockdown for a week and a half. I've been in lockdown since the beginning of this month. Like our workplace were like no, everyone's working from home from weeks ago. So
but you could still go out though, no, before lockdown.
For the first 2 weeks, for the first 2 weeks we could still go out. But it was still like I wasn't, because I'm working from home. Does that make sense? Like I'm just at home now, so I'm like, I literally, I don't go out. The only time I ever go out is when I'm going to work. If I'm going to go out anywhere else, it's because I'm finishing work and I'm going to go see my friends. Like I've never, or like if I'm with Reem, you know, the ones where Reem just comes to pick me up and we chill. Like that's literally the only time that I ever go out. I don't have that. So it's dead vibes. Hate it. But yeah, so just on the current deaths. So as this is being recorded in this moment, today is what, the 5th? The 5th of April.
I think it's the 4th.
I feel like it's the 5th, no? Okay, the 4th.
The 4th. It's 4:20.
Mad. The 4th of April.
It's not 4:20 because
No,
4:20
is on the 20th.
I'll let you go. That's why I was like, mad. Okay, I have to let it go. You have to bait yourself out. Okay, so the UK has 41,000 cases, almost 42,000, and 4,313 deaths. France has 83,000 cases and 7,000 deaths. Spain has 124,000 cases and 11,000 deaths. Italy has 124,000 cases and 15,000 deaths.
Bloody hell.
So like, just, I think on the scale of it, like when you look at Europe, we're not as bad, like not even close. Like
no,
we
but
have,
we
like,
are
like
it's increasing. Like we're getting a lot closer, quite fast. I think
because people are saying that we're behind Italy for about like 2 weeks behind Italy. But if you look at like all the data and stuff like that from like analysts and like experts that have been comparing globally, like the global cases and how they've progressed, like I think we're on, like, it doesn't seem as if we're going to surpass Italy. I think it was the moment that we start testing. If we start testing, but by the end of this month, we'll be fine. We won't be as bad as Italy. I mean, the deaths will still like continue. Like, do you remember when Boris Johnson before said we expect 20,000 deaths? And we thought that was mad. And he said you will lose loved ones. And we were like, 20,000 deaths? Are you all right? Bruh, they've been new. No, the ones, they actually been new. So yeah, so I think, and I do you know, can I also just say as well, yeah, obviously business is business, yeah, and you can't expect everyone to have the same outlook, and everyone has to make a living some way or another. I just find it, I don't know, it makes me feel really, really unsettled to see how celebrities are able to get tests immediately, whereas normal, ordinary people, thousands, millions of people around the world, aren't able to get tested unless they have money. There are private clinics that are charging people to do coronavirus tests. And I just think, and it's weird because it's like, so there are loads of labs and like clinics that say they offered the government weeks ago, months ago, and like opportunities for them to be able to conduct a lot of tests, so the NHS aren't just very heavily run down. The government refused. They said, no, we've got this under control. We want to be the ones that are in control of how we're testing stuff. And now it's come to a point where clinics are charging people to be tested. So unless you've got £199 to £300 kicking in the bank that you can spare, which for the vast majority of people in the UK, they don't, you won't be able to get tested, and you won't be able to know, and even though there's no treatment for it, it's just one of those things where it's just frustrating. It's very like, it makes me sick that Boris Johnson had displayed symptoms and got tested. NHS
when like
working with doctors,
and just thousands of people have symptoms and they're just told to stay at home, and it's like we don't know the true numbers. That's what's irritating, because what we're seeing isn't an accurate number of actually how many people have it. That's what's frustrating, because that's a scary thing to see, that I don't know, 40,000 people have it and 4,000 something have died. It feels like, oh my god, this feels really scary. It feels like the mortality rate is like a lot higher than it actually is, but it's like we don't know the people that have it and don't have any symptoms. We don't know the people that have it and have recovered. So it's like really the numbers of people that have had it or whatever could be like 150,000, and then it would change the whole ratio and stuff, but it's just nonsense.
Because at the moment, the numbers that we're seeing now in terms of deaths, they're just deaths that have been recorded from hospitals. Like recorded deaths.
I saw some doctors and nurses and stuff that were tweeting and putting on social medias posts. They were saying that a lot of the cases that were COVID-19 were being recorded as like pneumonia or other things, because they weren't able to test them quick enough for them to record them as COVID-19. So there's actually a lot more deaths of people that died from the coronavirus.
But then they wouldn't be dying from coronavirus, they would be dying from pneumonia. Opposed to, so like I think it would be inaccurate to say it's COVID. If it's gone down to and it's become pneumonia, then you're dying from pneumonia as opposed to the coronavirus.
But that's what, yani, that's the process of this coronavirus. It attacks your lungs and then you get pneumonia and then that's how you die. But because they weren't able to test them, they have to put it down as pneumonia and not COVID. So the numbers are actually lower than what they are. Does that make sense?
I was talking to someone the other day. It does make sense, but I was talking to someone the other day about how I had swine flu, as did my mum, and that was like the last pandemic. That was actually quite massive, but
you had swine flu?
More different way. I did, yeah. It's one of my
I know two people that had swine flu.
Well, to be honest, we never got tested, but like we had all the symptoms. Like it was the worst sickness ever. Me and mum I was like, I'm dying. Like it literally was horrendous. Finished. Literally, I was mash up. She was mash up. Nothing could help. We were just told by the GP to just stay home, don't go anywhere, don't mix with anyone, nothing. But I remember, and I looked through the statistic yesterday, and I think, I don't know how many people they suspected died from it, between like 250,000 to 525,000. And you look at that back then,
from the swine flu,
and the recorded ones, the recorded like ones was like 85,000, but it was suspected that it was between 250,000 to 500 something thousand that died around the world. But just like, I don't know, obviously I'm not undermining the seriousness of COVID and how important it is that we're taking all the right precautions, but I also think I think the way that we're hearing only about it, things have been happening at the same time that we don't know anything about. News is not covering it. Social media is obsessed with it. Old videos are resurfacing on the internet saying this is happening now, and it's something completely not linked to anything. It's from 2004 in Baghdad. Like it's just misleading, and I think this is part of the social media thing of like
yeah.
Like
whereas I think
media
swine
bubble,
flu
isn't it?
proper, and I think if swine flu, if we had the same level of social media, then it would probably look quite similar. But loads of people won't even really remember the swine flu much. They'll be like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. But this has become like a massive, like, I don't know, it just feels like it's been blown out of proportion, especially when you look at the numbers of people that die every day as well. Like we don't wake up. Go on.
No, go on.
Go on.
Go on. I think I was being so polite. Go on, go on. Sorry, I was
like, no, seriously, just go on.
The only time I've ever like really seen anything like this is the Ebola crisis. And that's the only, I think that's the only real example that we've ever seen for our lifetime anyways. And like Reem said as well, swine flu, but obviously we didn't have social media like that.
When was swine flu?
2009, 2010. I remember it like it were yesterday.
Shit, boy. By the way, speaking of Ebola, did you guys see that clip of the two French doctors that were suggesting that we test the coronavirus thing in Africa? Wasn't that insane? How do you have that confidence to be racist like that on live television?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
that doesn't surprise me at
if
all.
I'm being honest.
French people are just...
doesn't surprise me. It happens all the time.
My mum was watching.
French people. I think it comes from like a place of privilege and like that level of privilege and knowing that you can say stuff like that. That's crazy. No, and but they've been suspended, haven't they? So
have they?
Yeah.
Good.
I think they both lost their jobs. Just double check.
My mum was watching something a few weeks ago, and it was like an Italian news something with this guy calling in, and he was like, I don't understand why the Moroccans and Algerians are not getting it and only Italians are dying from this. And the woman was like, hold on a second. She was like, she did interrupt it, which I thought was good, but people are just ignorant. And I think one of the hardest things I think for Europeans is that they haven't been on the other end of something for a very long time, or even ever. So
they don't have the resilience for it.
It's just not. There's no preparation for it. There's no resilience, and there's a lot of feeling of like, well, we're the ones that usually have this right. So it's like confusion of like, why are we in this situation and other people aren't? And even how people have been saying, how come there isn't any lots of cases in Africa and stuff? And it's like, why are you watching? Like, deal with what you need to be dealing with in Europe. What is your point? Why are you focusing on other parts of the world to this extent? It's like, this is what caused you to be in this stupid situation anyway. Like, it's just dumb. Very irritating.
That's why the West like pretty much did not take it seriously at all when it first broke out until it came to Europe. That's when everyone started panicking. Yeah. When it knocks on your door, that's when you panic.
But sometimes
they didn't get back. Sorry.
They didn't. Useless.
They just apologized.
On your apologies.
So what were you guys saying? Sorry.
Just cussing everyone. Anyway, I would just, I don't know what I was going to say, but I was just, I think it's, I said to my mum the other day, I said, I don't have much of an opinion on anything until everything's all over and where people have studied this and looked into it properly, because until then, all I'm going to hear is 5G and fucking everything else.
Can we end it here? I'm done with it.
And I feel like speculation does nothing. It does no good. You're stressing about things twice. We can only do what we can do. Like, we can prepare and do our best. Why are you dying?
I'm just like, because my mom literally said to me the other day, she goes, I believe it completely. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, coronavirus is not real. It's just 5G cube. I was like, Mum. I was like, no, like, 5G. People are still dying.
It's genuinely a thing. People, like, lots of people are. My dad was like, they're spraying us with stuff, and I was like, bro.
Your dad said what? Sorry.
The truth is, I don't know. What did you sprayed with stuff?
What did your dad say? Sorry.
He's like, they're spraying us with bare things, bare beds.
Oh, hasn't that been ongoing for like years, or that?
Yeah, 100. It's just a continuation of this, and they're gonna do this and chip us. And at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, we don't live interesting lives. First of all, second of all, our phones track everything anyway. We've been carrying our phones. We've been getting tracked if we need to be. I just feel like, but I even have given into it. Like I said to Sana yesterday, I said, so they put up 5G. I don't know what they're called. Yeah, I want to call them, but yeah, they put them up near our house, and me and my brother were driving, and I was like, oh my god, my headache has come on. My brother's like, oh my god, mine too. And I was like, I don't know if it's psychological, if it's real. And he was like, do you reckon it's real? And I was like, I don't know. And then on the way back, I was like, Graham, I got that headache again. He was like, yeah, me too, that's mad. He was like, and I was like, but I can also make anything hurt when I think about it. Like, I can think now and get a fever. I think I got one.
Can you not please? It's just long, man. I feel like I'm just too old for this shit. We lived through enough conspiracy theories. I'm not getting into it.
Why is someone dying like that, bless her?
Cute, look at her.
I was laughing at Reem. But yeah, no, honestly, I think even like our parents that have graduated from the University of WhatsApp, please relax. Like, we don't need. Mum got a message the other day saying,
now.
And have you seen the pictures of all the onions around the houses?
I'm dead.
Wallah, everyone has like onions in the corner of the room. Fuck's sake, mate.
Gassing.
It's long. Mum got forwarded a message saying, stay indoors on Friday. I think this was last week. Stay indoors on Friday. The government are sending a helicopter to disinfect the streets.
Yeah, I saw that.
Not spraying everywhere.
Fuck's sake, man. Give it a rest. Who? I just need to know. Who is writing this shit? Who is making this stuff? That's what I want to know.
I don't think your mum forwarded me something.
My mum.
I don't remember what. Yeah, bless her.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, like, if it was my mum, I'd let mum delete Reem's number now.
It's just long. Can you imagine if like WhatsApp was a thing, like Auntie's WhatsApp was a thing back when like 9/11 and all that stuff happened? That would have been insane.
Would have been exhausting, bruv.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm over it. I don't want to get involved in this at all.
Scheme. But you know what? I'm really happy that they're like even though it's a lot of misinformation being spread around, I think it's like it's good at having some sort of interest and like to some degree like taking it seriously.
No, that's not a healthy interest, fam. People are
So
literally
like,
people are going crazy. People are going crazy over this.
They'll like arrest people for misinformation. I don't want any of our mums to get arrested, bro,
That's
just because they passed
Imagine.
a broadcast message.
I think it would be worse if my mum was like, it's nothing, and just went out and enjoyed life. You know the ones. I think it'd be worse. At least now she's actually following the guidelines and like social distancing. I want her to be shook. I'd rather that she was shook.
Shook
If
and
she
stay
wasn't
at home,
shook.
yeah.
It's better.
Fair enough.
Yeah, shook and stay at home.
Yeah, boy.
Safe and sorry, innit?
Anyways, guys.
It's been a pleasure. It's
This
been
has
so
nice,
good.
It has been nice, isn't it?
So nice.
Beautiful.
I prefer this.
Thank you guys for listening.
I wonder if
too.
everyone else feels the same way. I feel like I prefer this.
I wonder how the sound quality is though.
Yeah, it's all about the sound, obviously, but
probably clap.
let us know what you guys think. Whoever is watching.
Please say that you don't want it because I can't be putting on makeup every day.
Well, you don't need to put a full face on, man. Just come on like me. It's just quick.
You're naturally beautiful,
isn't it?
We've got to get
Guess guy.
Beautiful.
Shut up, bro.
Look at she said.
She's fine. She's like, yeah, Andrew.
Scastic. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. It's a bit of a different one. I know it's a bit weird, but still bear with us. Let us know what you think. As Sana and Reem have said, what you think. Don't forget, you can also subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. This podcast will not be available on the podcast app, will it?
Maybe we can put it on podcast.
Podcast. Oh, fuck SoundCloud. You know the one.
Oh, okay.
From Scream Fuck SoundCloud from 2019 to 2020, bro. Till we die. Poor thing.
But yeah, honestly, you can keep up with Sana at
Sanacino
with 2 eyes.
I'm actually. Oh, where's she gone?
I was just left.
And obviously Reem is the mastermind behind our social media account, so if you ever want to reach out to Reem, you know where she is. Slowly becoming up the social bubble, you know. Small should be trying to join, trying to be a bit more open out there, but you know, inshallah khair. Maybe 2021 you guys might see more of her online.
At £3.30.
Yes, at £3.30, and of course me, the one, the only, the host of this whole thing. You're the one, yeah? Every day.
Who is, by the way, back on YouTube.
Anyways, guys.
Ooh, yeah. Check out her videos.
So,
check out Sana's latest videos as well.
Yeah, it's been good. MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
Thanks,
So, Reem, you got anything to plug?
A what?
Anything to plug?
No, nothing to plug.
Not even wash your hands.
Wash your hands and sing Happy Birthday in your language. Don't do it in English, it's boring.
Safe.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.
Bye. Oh, shit. There we go.
I'm doing it.